So I'm Matt Lenza from the Matt Lenza Real Estate team, and that's it, right? Yeah. So the Lenza team, how it really started was my mother decided to charge me rent and didn't charge my older sister rent. So that's kind of how it got in my mind that I'll just buy a house. Had roommates from day one helping me pay my mortgage. My grand scheme back in the day was try to duplicate the process and buy another place and have somebody live in it and basically manage it and then have more roommates. I then went into buying other houses, duplexes and condos, and renting them out. Back then, after the crash in 2007 and 2008, unfortunately, realtors didn't really want to work for cheap deals. I know that now being a realtor, but back then, a $40,000 house, when you see what they actually get paid, it's not worth their time. So when I wanted to see something on a Tuesday, for instance, as soon as it hit the market, I couldn't go see it with them until Saturday. So I missed out on quite a few deals that way and had the great idea of, well, it can't be that hard. Why shouldn't I just become my own realtor? And that's what I did. Never had the intentions of, representing clients. I really just wanted to gain access to the available properties, mostly investment properties, as soon as they were available. Did all my online classes in between things. I was going to my MBA program at the time at Villanova, knocked it out, became a realtor. Then I started helping out friends and family. If you do a good job in anything, you get referrals. It started to grow slowly, and I did no advertising. It was simply 100% referrals. Then it started being significant. So in 2014, I left Boeing. Still didn't want to do real estate, quote unquote full time. I wanted to still do my investing portion of it, but it just took off. And when you help people, it really, really means something to them, especially in an industry that has a somewhat lower barrier of entry to become an agent. And then fast forward, I actually helped John Nisley buy a triplex in media. Wasn't completely aware of this, but he already had his real estate license. He just wasn't signed up with a brokerage. So essentially the formation of the team started there. After leaving Boeing, I did not really want to quote unquote work with people or have employees or be a manager. It's just, I wanted to do my own thing. And he kind of convinced me otherwise. And we sat down and we talked and he said, well, let's do it. And we did. We really try to help people any way we can. And that's, whether it's investment mentality, treating literally every sale as if it's an investment property for myself. And I'm looking at it, I'm looking to buy it, and then translate that to the client. And then same thing with the seller. Just if I was selling a house, I really like to then go through it, help them do everything that I would do to get a house ready, and same with price point. Some people just want to sell something quick, and I don't. I'll let them know that, hey, this is the price you can put it at to sell it in 30 days, but you have a unique property here. So maybe we want to price it a little higher and wait, if you're okay with it, to get that person that is going to pay top dollar. No problem. We'll set it up for tomorrow then, okay? All right, see you, Sandy. Bye-bye. The other teammates too, we didn't really actively go out and seek people from day one. They came to us. That really, really helps because they know that as a team, we really treat things as an investment. And that means a lot to us. That's how Tim came on board. He was actually selling his house on his own, and John met him. And Rob on the team, we go back to probably kindergarten. I actually grew up in Prospect Park. 4 schools pull in there, so it's Prospect Park, Glen Olden, Tinicum, and Norwood. And that's our feeder program for the high school. My family left basically when I was in college. I went to Lehigh, and then they moved to media. So that's my connection to Delaware County and my connection to media. It's a great place. And then obviously a connection to it now, since I work here, but also John, when he came on the team, he bought in media. But really what makes the team special is how we treat our clients. There's nothing fancy about it, but we really always look at it from their viewpoint. And especially when it comes to selling a house, there's a lot of things that can and do go wrong. So that initial consultation when we sit down with them, that's important to kind of walk through and level set. Because another realtor may say, oh yeah, I just want the listing. Yeah, sure, we can sell your house for $400,000. I mean, every single listing appointment I go on, I bring out the computer, we're looking at live data. There's nothing pre-printed where I can, manipulate the numbers or make things look better than they are or worse than they are. I let them see. And then I bring them right down to the most important line too, what it sold for and if there was any concessions. And that's it. If a house sold for 400 and they gave 20 grand in seller's assist, the house sold for 380. So if my clients have a very similar house and they have 400 or 410 in their mind, I try to level set with them from day one to set expectations so they know that 380 is probably more reasonable. We really do try to leverage technology to the best of our ability. We own Matterport and have now going on for 3 years. It's a camera that actually scans a room and makes a 3D model of it. That's cool even for clients that are out of town for some of our properties, because they can not only look at some of the videos we post, but they can go in and it's basically a virtual tour. They can point and click and move all around the house. We were one of the first people to get a drone and actually use it not just for our business per se to do shots, but you know, hey, we want to inspect a roof. I'm not climbing up there. It's January and it's not really the best conditions. Fly a drone up. So we do that. A lot of our communications we use and a lot of our apps. I mean, we do have a lot, but there's a purpose for all of them. And it really does help streamline communication and keep things in sync. Even if one of us goes away, someone else can pick up in our CRM and know all the communication we had with a client and pick up right where we left off. As funny as it sounds, I'm not an office person. Even they joke about me in the office. I'm rarely here unless it's a settlement or we're doing something. That's not me. Essentially, my office is my Toyota 4Runner. I mean, I've been on the Blue Route 476 and had people call me before, and an offer needs to be in within an hour. So I'd pull over on the side, link up my phone to my computer for Wi-Fi access, and do it right there. If something needs to get done, we make it happen. I actually had clients before that were tied up, and house at the market, 8 o'clock in the morning the next day, I scheduled a showing. I went there. I was there a little before 8 o'clock, went through, did a video for them, and while I was walking out, there was another realtor with their 2 clients. Basically said, hey, what are you doing here? It's not 8 o'clock yet. And I said, well, I got in a little soon, went there, you know, did my thing. And he was like, well, where's your clients? I said, well, they're not here. You know, I previewed it for him. And he was a little taken back, but it was funny because his 2 clients, once he walked in, said, oh, that's really cool. Like, you did a video, you did this, everything was fine. I said, yeah. They said, oh, can we have your card? So a lot of people don't want to necessarily see every house because it's a lot. But I'm out there in the field doing this day in and day out, and sometimes can respond to a call immediately. And then, yes, it could be a great house for them. They're willing to put in an offer. Or, you know, you save yourself time too, because that house isn't going to work for them. They can watch 2 minutes of the video and see the layout and be like, this isn't for us. But they appreciate that responsiveness, and they truly appreciate someone that does things a little differently and a little more new age and utilizes technology. And hey, if I'm doing something and I'm away from my phone for 20 minutes and I get back to it, I actually feel a little bad because then I got to take care of all the messages that came in. Now we have someone in the office that helps us do that, but again, it's the core of our team, urgency and making the client a priority, and for us, being proactive. As a real estate agent, I'm actually somewhat unique because I was an engineer before. So I really do utilize that experience with what I do now. So I was at Boeing for 7 years as an engineer, and that whole time I was investing in houses. So that is what actually enabled me to leave Boeing when I had enough investment properties where, you know, from the rental stream coming in, it completely offset my salary there. Bringing that to the table for a prospective client, that's something that I want them to know, because as an investor, I really do look at houses differently. When I go and check houses out, I don't just look at them and say, hey, they're nice. In fact, I look at the bad things. I'll look at the mechanicals, I'll look at the roof, I'll see if there's anything that can or should be changed with the layout to optimize it, you know, open concept. If a wall has to come out, I'm already going through there and doing that initial evaluation. So that's something I bring to the clients that's pretty unique. And obviously being an engineer, it's on too. I'm not just making this stuff up. I know what can be done. And also since I do it myself for my own properties. I have 3 kids, a boy and 2 girls. Antonio's 6. We got Bella at 4 right now and Eva at 2. If anyone ever talks to me and they hear kids in the background, that's usually one of the 3, and really do like to travel. So as the kids get older, I really want to do more and more of that. I did a lot of it before the kids were here, obviously easier to travel, but I really want them to have that aspect where they, you know, don't just see things in this little microcosm of where we live. They get a true worldly perspective of things. So that's kind of who I am. I mean, it really does come down to real estate investing. When you really do that, it's a part of who you are, so that'll never go away. But that's basically what I like.